Welcome back to episode 2 of our electric Gen 3 Grom build. Last week, if you missed it, I'll link it in the description as well as above, but we went ahead and adapted our gauge cluster to the OEM housing and then stripped the bike as a whole so that it would lay the groundwork for today's episode. So let's get into it. It's going to be a good one. When designing the motor and battery bracket for the Gen 3, it is quite a bit different. The top bracket here is the Gen 3 motor mount holes and the bottoms are the OGs and the SFs. So it is quite a bit differently spaced, so we had to redo all of that. Quite a few of the components in the Gen 3 kit had to be changed. The top hanger points were lengthened in different ways, and the motor mounts also had a different detent because the swing arm sticks out a little bit more on the Gen 3s. Tell you what though, it is extremely nice to be able to cut this stuff in-house, to be able to template before I actually send it out for metal. It saves a lot of money in R&D. Once I got the metal back from fabrication, I went ahead and started assembling everything so I could do a rough mock-up before I actually weld and powder coat things. It does assemble the same exact way as the older model kits, with the exception of there's two little spacers on the driver's side just to keep everything nice and square, and you can see from this angle where those sit. It kind of puts everything on that outside on one nice easy plane so that it keeps everything nice and flush. The Gen 3s also have only 3 mounting points to mount the controller versus the OGs and SFs have 4, so instead of running a 2-piece controller mount, I went ahead and designed something that I could weld together so that I could only mount it on 3 of those points. And this is just a rough idea of how it would fit on the bike itself. Going this route, you do have to cut off 3 tabs on the top tube of the frame. There's one on each side and then one in the middle as seen here. Bam! You have a controller bracket. So you can see here on the other side, there is that one hole that's kind of overhanging, but the other 3 mounting points will go in as normal. There's 2 in the back. They kind of line up here. You just thread a bolt through, and then this one already has a factory bolt hole. This next part was fun. Trying to cut the OEM fuel tank because I am too cheap to buy a new one that's $300. So I filled up a bin with water and then got to cutting, and it worked really well actually. I did get quite a bit wet, but came out nice. I can't complain. And again, didn't blow myself up. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm really happy. If you need to cut a fuel tank, make sure you do it in water. The finished product came out pretty nice. You can see here I went ahead and ground down everything on the edges. Just made sure it wasn't sharp because all of the wires are going to be going in under here, so I want to make sure they don't obviously dig into the wires themselves. With the tank being cut, it does offer a lot of clearance underneath, so this should work out really well and make everything look nice and clean and allow us to mount the plastics back up. If you made it this far and you're watching this wondering why would anyone want to electric swap a Grom, make sure you watch this video because I think it'll paint a good picture for why you should have one of these. Take care guys, we'll see you on the next one.